Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Omori. So, after that detour to the Orange Oasis, we're going to be going on with the actual plot this time. Huzzah! But first, we have to pick up our reward for killing more bunnies.
That's morbid.
Yes, we've killed 50 bunnies.
Why does this leaf hate bunnies?
It just does.
Bunnies eat leaves.
Oh shit, you're right. Okay, you know what? Fair.
A rabbit foot isn't actually supposed to be a rabbit's foot.
Wait, what is it?
Well, let me see. Hang on. I actually don't know the answer to that question. Okay.
Why bring it up?
Well, I wasn't expecting to...
I didn't expect to know what I was supposed to know.
Okay. In some cultures, a rabbit's foot is carried as an amulet to bring good luck. Blah 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 blah, and then, okay, what is an actual what is the rabbit foot that they sell today?
I gotta wonder though. Who came up with that idea in the first place? Because you're carrying around a dead animal part. That shit smells.
No, because they probably treat it so that it's essentially just a husk.
But why did you take just the foot off of a rabbit to dry?
Well, you wouldn't be taking just the foot off of a rabbit. Obviously, it would be a rabbit that got hunted by your hunters, and oh god, they actually are rabbit's feet. I mean, unless they're synthetic, they actually
they're likely synthetic, feet. Yeah.
But
I'm going to assume,
and
I'm only assuming because I don't know the actual answer, but let me have fun. A long time ago, someone was in the middle of eating a rabbit in a cold night in the middle of a war. And then, as they were about to wrap up their delicious rabbit dinner, they start choking on the foot. They start gagging, they bend over and vomit the foot up. But as they were falling forward, they dodged a bullet from the enemy squad. Realizing that rabbit foot saved my life and was very lucky, made a business out of it. They lose that war, though.
Damn. You see, that has to be the War of 1812, because only an American would take a life-changing moment like that and make it a business opportunity.
But ancient cultures had a lot of superstitious and mystical stuff going on, especially with nature in general.
Yeah, what's considered bad luck often doesn't really make any sense, spilling salt or black cats or walking under a ladder or opening an umbrella inside. There's this is why they're superstitions and not
well, I mean,
logical, obviously.
The walking under a ladder thing was probably made to be bad luck because it's also a very stupid thing to do.
Yeah, that one makes more sense than oh, it's a black cat, God forbid.
Well, that one just sounded racist.
Have you ever wondered how nobody talks about normal stitions? They're just superstitions.
What are stitions?
They're very well made.
Yeah. The rabbit's foot, symbolizing luck, can be traced back as far as the 7th century BC, when the rabbit was considered a talismanic symbol, and the left hind foot was a handy way to benefit from the rabbit's luck. In some cultures, this foot is believed to promote reproduction, so women carry one around to boost their odds of conceiving.
Okay, that at least makes sense, because bunnies multiply like no one's
Yeah.
business.
That's that kind of stuff is the kind of superstition that I'm talking about. But
yeah, but that makes it promotes conception. Okay, there's at least a link there. I don't get why breaking a mirror is specifically 7 years of bad luck. It just sounds like oh, that was kind of unlucky, you broke a mirror, those are pretty expensive. Like, it's the same kind of unluck. Nobody says you're going to get 7 years of bad luck for wearing the hinge down on your Nintendo DS, and now you can only use the bottom screen for Game Boy games.
Heresy.
You know?
I'm sending you to the mirror dimension.
It might tie into stuff like how ancient cultures didn't entirely understand certain things and came up with kind of bullshit mystical explanations for why they worked the way they worked. You know, because mirrors, like magnets, are one of those kind of things that if you don't know the science behind how the science works, you could think it's like kind of magical or semi-mystical at least. But, you know, we do
like
understand
maybe if you're
that
not
shit now.
maybe if you're in an area without a lot of standing water, because like if you just stay near water, you'll see your reflection and it won't seem that weird. Then again, humans are also adapted living in places you absolutely shouldn't fucking live. Like, who the hell decided, oh, the frigid north, where only the toughest animals survive and food is at its absolute scarcest. Yeah, I'm gonna live there. Humans are idiots, man. Who let us be the dominant species? They need to be fired.
Just
Around the
fire
3rd century, this is what Google says. Around the 3rd century, mirrors were being made from glass and breakage became a lot more commonplace. But the Romans did not believe that the ensuing bad luck would last forever. They believed that the body renewed itself every 7 years. Oh.
I mean, that's kind of technically true. The time frame's probably off, but like most of the cells in your body are not the same cells that you had 7 years ago.
No.
And then you get into the Ship of Theseus philosophy problems as well. Are you the same self that you were those years ago? And my answer is, bruh, it's too early for this.
Bro, get out of my room.
Plato, is that you? I have a restraining order. Get out of my house.
You see, I landed on something close to the right answer. Okay, the Greeks believed that one's reflection on the surface of a pool of water revealed one's soul, but it was Roman artisans who actually learned to manufacture mirrors from polished metal surfaces and believed their gods observed souls through these devices. To damage a mirror was considered so disrespectful that people thought it compelled the gods to rain bad luck on anyone so careless.
I see.
Oh, okay.
That comes from the University of South Carolina, if anyone is
So we
curious.
have the gods to blame.
Zeus.
Oh, well, hold on. We're a group of four people, right? And we have vengeance against God. So we're in a JRPG now.
Just this fucking God of War 3 theme. As like I'm stepping on cracks.
Dibs on cleric.
Going under
Yeah,
step
I gotta
ladders.
stand in the back and not
kicking
take
black
damage.
cats.
Yo. Listen, I don't know why people think that being heel bitch is like not something you'd want to do. Like not being in front and getting whacked by the mean swords and magic spells.
Oh man, like I think
fucking
I
awesome.
think in a very standard playthrough, especially if it's your first time, there is nothing wrong with just having someone dedicated to healing. If you can throw out the DPS, you can throw out the DPS, but their main priority is just keeping everyone alive. In later playthroughs, when you learn the more advanced techniques, if they exist, then you can maybe like change things up. But
Is there like you're the MMO guy here, John? Is there like a
one
healer
MMO.
is easy to play? Well, okay, well then you're the MMO singular guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there like in Final Fantasy 14? Is there like healer's so easy kind of stigma? Or maybe not just like about healer, it's just like, oh, tank is so easy, you can just stand there. Or
I
whatever.
don't think anyone who's ever played extensively would ever say that tank or healer are easy classes to play.
no. So
Because the healer has to stay on top of shit, and the tank has to deal with the idiots who pull aggro because they don't know how to play in a team well.
it's a couple of things. So in the healer situation, it's not even so much like the anxiety of keeping the party alive. More often than not, what you'll see, at least from higher end level players, is that you'll see people get on healers' cases for not damaging enough. Where as soon as the tank takes a fraction of damage, the healer's throwing like a cure 2 on them. It's like, my dude, I can take a few hits. It's fine. Like I have cooldowns. In that
Yeah.
case, I agree. Like heal bots, we call them heal bots because that's all they do. Like I understand your role as a healer, but that is not the only thing you can do.
Yeah, some players do mistake all the healer's attack skills as being just for solo play,
Yeah,
which is not the case.
Not at all.
You actually are supposed to take a opportunity when you can to sort of supplement the DPS. The healer is never going to put out enough DPS to draw aggro, so don't worry about it.
no, especially nowadays. Like aggro is completely brain dead, but still,
Yeah. They did rebalance that in the more recent updates, didn't they?
yeah.
But like,
You play tank, right, Johnny?
Yes,
Okay.
I play everything, but I prefer tank.
You prefer tank.
Yeah.
Okay.
it's what makes the healer difficult to play is that you need to be able to put out that DPS while also paying attention to everyone's HP, so that you can shift over to healing when you need to.
Yeah, and there are growing pains with that, absolutely. But you know, in terms of like story content, like trials, it's usually never that big of a deal.
It's also, to be honest, the most difficult class to play if you're playing with a controller. Because the only way to like quickly and efficiently target your party members is with your mouse and the party list.
So like if you're playing on controller, do you have to like scroll with the D-pad or L or R buttons or whatever?
It's
choose?
the one major downside to playing Final Fantasy XIV with a controller is that targeting is not very efficient if you have to switch back and forth between targeting party members and targeting enemies.
Especially during ultimate encounters. Like, oh my god, I don't know how the fuck people do it.
I don't.
How many people play on like console with controller though? Like I feel
I don't
feel
know,
like that
a
would
sizable
be-
number. It's not even on consoles. Like people just also play controller on PC.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
The thing about the console versions of Final Fantasy XIV is that they do actually support mouse and keyboard. They're like one of the only games that do. Because modern consoles can just use USB mouse and keyboard. It's just that games don't support them.
Yeah, at the end of the day, these consoles are just computers, so
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter.
Well, I mean, the controller ports are just USB ports.
Yeah,
So
that
you
too.
know, the only problem with using a USB mouse and keyboard on one of the consoles is that they don't have quite the same. They don't have the same sensitivity settings that a PC does. So the mouse might end up feeling weird, but it works. It's fine.
Oh my god, one of your abilities is named Painful Truth.
Yes.
Like what? You go up to an enemy and say, "Your parents only stayed together for you. Once you leave, they'll never be happy." And then they fucking get depressed and walk off.
I mean, it does make them sad, so yes.
Santa Claus does not exist, and there's no Easter Bunny. You're gonna find out when you grow up that Big Bird wasn't funny.
Fuck you. I was so worried about Big Bird. He was small.
But you know, to somewhat answer your question though, Ted, about MMOs, the easiest class to play is actually just DPS. Because like, as long as you got your rotation down and you're aware enough to get on the ads when you need to get on the ads and stay away from the AoEs, you'll be fine.
You see, that's just so funny because in many like shooter type games, people often talk down like the people who aren't like pure. I mean, DPS isn't exactly the right role for like a high kill character in Overwatch or whatever, but people are just like, "Oh, go back to play Mercy," and it's just like, okay,
That's because those games are full of a bunch of testosterone-fueled machismo.
yeah.
It's
You mean 12-year-olds?
Yeah. The thing you got to know about those kind of people is that they don't actually know how to play the game very well. They're overcompensating for their lack of skill by talking a big game.
Mm-hmm. A tale as old as time.
I wonder if we could get a law passed where we take everybody and when they turn 12, we shut them into cryo sleep for a year. And then
See, I thought you guys like would just outlaw 12-year-olds, just entirely.
Then they just be
jail.
really immature 13-year-olds, Ted. I'm sorry. You can't skip the growing process. You can only delay it.
plan's foiled.
Okay, what is with the keyboard keys as a collectible? I don't
The
get
letter
it.
H.
I don't get why this is the thing that we're collecting.
Because we need the letters for Hangman.
you know, in the early 2000s, collectibles, they were really sort of stretching to find like an equivalent to Power Stars. Like all the easy ones had been taken. You know, you'd already done different kinds of gems and whatnot, and like even more abstract ones like puzzle pieces. And then they were just running out of original ideas. So they this is the only thing left is keyboard keys.
Huh. It smells like bad apples?
Go on, Aubrey. You can do it.
Can you even take
Whack.
a bat to smash it? Yeah, I was gonna say, it's like, I mean, you can't run, you can't walk through the gaps in the trees around it.
Yeah, you
Nope.
can't walk around that cut bush, John, or set it on fire with your fire type Pokemon.
No, see, that's cruel. I'm just talking about walking around the fucking thing. All right, I want to start a forest fire.
I don't know. Given how this has been going, this forest could use a good fire.
What the fuck? That's a villain line, Lewis.
I mean, there are killer bears and it's full of spiders.
Oh yeah, and you want to know it's a villain line until California has record-breaking forest fires every year, John? Huh?
Yeah,
Alright.
because
Where's your
Lewis wanted to
respect for the
start the forest
natural-
fire. This is Lewis's fault.
Where's your Smokey the Bear is responsible for untold economic and structural damage? Okay.
Son of a bitch. I knew he couldn't be trusted.
Oh,
But yeah, we needed the 3 planks of wood to lay down on the track so we can get across.
Ooh.
I thought it was
So
spotlights
there's like
for a
no
second.
boss for this area. It's just
No, there is.
There is. Oh, okay.
We're just not there yet.
All right. Are we? It looked like we were going to Disneyland.
No, we're going to a different place. A much worse place.
pretty creepy, doesn't it?
Oh
This girl
God,
keep-
Epcot.
This girl keeps fucking moving her picnic blanket everywhere, and she's always ahead of us for some reason. Okay, so I'm guessing that Mary's death or something close to it had to do with a picnic?
Not quite.
No.
No.
So the fact that she's so closely tied to a picnic setup is just dream world stuff.
Dream World stuff, yes.
Oh,
I hate
okay.
picnics. Picnics killed my family.
It was Yogi Bear who did it.
What the fuck? Oh, yeah, I always figured Boo Boo would be the serial killer.
Hey, Boo Boo, gotta murder Mari so we can take our picnic basket, Boo Boo.
I mean, his name is literally an injury. We should have read between the lines.